Responding to rude people. Remember how it felt to have a pleasant day just to have it destroyed by someone who was rude? You've probably dealt with a lot of jerks in your life, and you know how aggravating it can be, especially when you haven't done anything to deserve it. However, rather than allowing it to affect you, it's usually better to understand why someone is being disrespectful. It's usually because they're coping with their own issues and transferring their frustrations onto you. After all, maintaining a cheerful attitude would be tough if you had suddenly lost your job or been rejected by your lover. Right? On the other hand, the individual could simply be the most ignorant human on the planet, completely oblivious to their cruel nature. You shouldn't just sit there and take it, no matter what the scenario is. However, don't let them dupe you into being obnoxious. It's important to remember that you can't put out a fire with more fire. Any of the following powerful statements might help you stand up for yourself without being too confrontational. Number 1. Let's start this conversation over. You can extend an olive branch and pardon the other person just long enough to offer to restart the topic when a conversation grows far too heated, far too quickly. It permits them to shake off the rudeness that had been fermenting in their minds and get off on the right foot. Furthermore, letting them know that you're willing to ignore anything they just said can provide them with some much-needed introspection by standing there and considering your kindness. They could be willing to give you the benefit of the doubt and treat you with the respect you deserve. At times, this retort is an excellent approach to remind them that forgiveness and forgetting may be powerful. However, don't use this as a habit, as some people may take advantage of you. Number 2. You need to re-evaluate the way you speak to people. This statement is a little more questionable because it could result in outcomes that go in either direction. It all depends on how well you know the individual and how you anticipate them to react. It could be able to help them snap out of whatever rant they've gotten themselves into. It could also push them over the edge. Whatever the situation, it's critical to apply your best judgment. Number 3. You should think about what you just said. Some people can become so enraged in the heat of the moment that they continue to speak without truly considering what they're saying. You're doing them a favor by giving them a chance to pause and think about their actions by making this brief statement. When people are being rude, it's usually because they're drowning in their own frustration. By thinking of them as merely appealing for assistance, we are allowing them to conduct some self-evaluation, and actually pointing them in the right direction. Number 4. I don't allow people to talk to me like that. By making this comeback, you're putting yourself in the driver's seat and letting the other person know who's boss. You have the right to be treated with respect, and using this statement to express that you value yourself too highly to be subjected to their disrespectful acts or beliefs may help. Make sure you confidently employ this bombshell. Either they back off or you walk away as soon as you use it. You gain influence by demonstrating that you are serious about this. Number 5. I'll let what you said slide this time. You are not bound to be courteous to someone who is unpleasant to you. In fact, you could just stop everything right then. However, doing so would deny this person the opportunity to develop and make amends. Although you are currently fighting a bullet, it may pay off in the long run. That's because you're allowing them a lot of room to make amends. You've made it clear that they're walking a thin line, and that if they act rudely even once more, you'll be done with them at this point. Number 6. When you're in a better mood you can talk to me then. This response is actually rather wholesome and less abrasive than the last one. It allows them to take a breather from their rudeness and consider their attitude. Some people are just unaware of their terrible mood or that others are aware of it. As a result, this phrase serves as a gentle reminder to take a deep breath and take a step back. And following this comeback, we'll make sure to depart the scene so they can reflect on their sentiments. They'll most likely be in a much better mood when they return to discuss. Number 7. Let's just end this now, before it gets worse. Maybe it's because your gut instinct is correct, or maybe you're a secret mind reader. Sometimes you can tell when a conversation just isn't going well no matter what superpower you have. To keep that vision from becoming a reality, use this comeback in a softer tone to prevent an argument from exploding. Using the phrase will provide you both with time to relax and cool off. You're also letting the other individual know that you're not going to be bullied. Number 8. Someone woke up on the wrong side of the bed. Other comebacks have used a strong or gentle tone, but this one sticks out because it adds some lighthearted humor. When the disrespectful person is plainly not in the mood to laugh, it may be uncomfortable to include this. However, lightening the mood is the exact emotion you need to elicit. To make sure this happens, use this comeback in the friendliest voice possible to help them get out of their harsh mood. You're ready to protect yourself against the world of unpleasant individuals, now that you know some of the most effective comebacks. Though these words will not completely transform their conduct, they will assist them in starting down a reflective path toward becoming better people in general. If you keep a positive attitude, you might just be the trigger they need to start their journey to a better attitude and behavior. How do you deal with rude people? Let us know in the comment section below.